Hello and welcome. It is Tuesday, 13th day of June, 2017. Welcome. My name is Derek, and let's take a look at some cryptocurrency charts. Go through the base ones, but I'll finish it off with XBY, extra bytes. And let's start with the main one, Bitcoin, Bitstamp exchange, priced in US dollars. Continuation. And at the 27 handle, within this point in here, after you've had this correctionary move and a few others amongst this bull market, and after it leaves the band, new high, come back, new high, come back, and well, there's the new high, come back, and well, as it leaves the band, yeah, pattern recognition, new high. That's the next stage on that level. As far as where it stands out on the short-term time frame, we have had the situation in which it fell from this high in at around 2980 down to about 2480. And it has been consolidating within this sideways part. We can see the band. It's not breaking down below here. Hasn't really had a break above, and just a lot of neutrality, and it's in the middle of the range. Anything pretty much in the middle is neutrality. In fact, the way I look at it is here to 38.2% of the way up is bearish, and here to about 38.2% of the way down, this is all bullish territory. So what are those numbers? Well, on the high, we'll bring up the calculator. It's again about 2980. So we'll stick in that high of 2980. The low go about, does it look like 25? Did it? No, it pierced below to 2480. Key levels, 2660, 2778. Okay, so 2660 in here. It's been holding, and 78. Oh, I mean, Fibonacci doing what it does best. And I've already talked about what happens when you break key areas. You're breaking down below here, yeah, test of previous low, and breaking out above here, test of previous high. Let's move this on to the Ethereum chart. Again, we'll look at this on its short-term perspective, at least. What an interesting pattern, to say the least. Don't know how else to explain it, but you got an obvious uptrend, an obvious level of established resistance, roughly around 400, right here, right here. And it's been maintaining this uptrend, holding the 18 average. Lots of extreme volatility. Oops, there goes the chart. We'll bring it back right now. Big volatility in here, as we can see the moves like this. That I'll be looking for a break in here. Like another good bull market run, like many other cryptocurrency charts have had. The daily chart, it's so bullish. How can you make a case and say, is this an uptrend or a downtrend? I mean, come on, so obvious here. Is it overextended? Well, yeah, but you know what though? It was overextended here a bit, and here, and here, and now it's overextended again. At least in here, you had this correction move here. And this correction move, it hasn't had any in a few days. And there could still be another 1, 2. Wow, what a beautiful day that I could easily touch the next psychological number of 500. But the trend, obviously that of higher, and it's going to have a correction at some point, but at this stage, its path of least resistance is much higher. And now as we show the cross with Bitcoin, well, it's 14.3% of a Bitcoin. And it's in a huge uptrend, dominating what's been dominating in Bitcoin. So uptrend, sideways, up, a little bit of sideways after the uptrend here. Up, sideways, up, sideways, up. Well, we'll see if we get sideways again. But obviously outperforming it in an uptrend. If there's any deep corrections, the first obvious place is right here. And then before that, at this stage. But the trend is higher right now. Now let's switch over to the daily dash chart. And I'm liking this, and I've been buying today, and I'm in accumulation mode. After all, with Ethereum up, it's going to get to the point where I'm distributing from that, which means after I sell Ethereum, where do I put the Bitcoin? Answer, I'm going to put some in Dash. I like its movements. This volume in here, which occurred on this uptrend, making it to the upper part of this range. And it's a clear indication for its range. You had a beautiful uptrend to start the year in 2017. Starting here, uptrend to the band, beautiful move with a few consolidations along the way. And after this top, it's had a long consolidation pattern. So on the break of resistance, two things. One, a move to previous high. And a lot of these charts, the bullish ones, that hasn't been leaving that much resistance. Sometimes none, sometimes little. And then you just break it and go to some big levels. If we take a look at some Fibonacci for upside, you can see that's around 12%. So I'm just going to put 1200 in. And as far as where it retraced down to at its key level, I'm looking at about 4.2%. And even down to 4. And I'm going to do a number pierce above most likely. So that brings it up to about 23% of a Bitcoin. That's the number that I'll be looking for it to go. So maybe going 100% even on a break of this resistance. But the accumulation pattern, I like how it's playing out. It's at the upper end of the range. I think maybe short term getting some buys in here might be doable. But when this thing's in a bull market, as you can see, trying to buy on the discount, it can be very difficult. Now NXT daily chart, and wow, what a move. And I wouldn't buy, I wouldn't chase here other than maybe for a day trade, or if you know something fundamentally different that I know, because it has had this huge move from here. Markets oftentimes come back to where they come from. So if you want to get a really good deal, or you want to try to find a place to buy on any good pullback, just a quick eye test tells me here, somewhere above that number. Maybe I'll put a number in around 4,007 Satoshi or something in that ballpark level. But I personally wouldn't be chasing any markets after it's had a big move above this 18 average. I want to have some sort of stability, correction within this band, and it's just accelerating at this point. Litecoin is the next chart on the daily time frame, and it's still within this sideways consolidation. And just like the Dash chart, you have a big move, a good correction. You've established a huge level of support. But unlike, of course, the Dash chart, this isn't showing anything as far as indication of it looking to go bullish from here. You don't see anything good from the volume side. You don't see anything as far as breaking out and momentum carrying forward with this band. But you're not seeing anything bearish as well. And if you're at the point where, okay, I don't want to chase up here, I want to wait for the stabilization, well, here's a spot where you can just, oh, yeah, I mean, that's why I didn't buy here. Now I can buy now, and it's cheaper. And that's just one idea for the reason why you just don't chase those up markets. Ripple, it's in the daily chart. It's worse than Litecoin. Yeah, okay, you got the same thing as all the other ones. Big move, a good consolidation, some stabilization. But we have a downtrend within this 18 average, having very difficult times on the rally. And quite frankly, breaking below this, which is at 8,500 Satoshi, where it came from is in the range of 2,500 to 5,000. That's a pretty decent drop on that if case scenario, and I need to see better momentum or better fundamental news to even consider going along at this stage. Let's move on to XBY. This is a chart I put up myself because it's not available on any other site. In fact, I can't even bring a logarithmic chart. I can do it myself by using my spreadsheet. But since its bottom at the 230, 250 level, just a huge move up to about 17. It has then had this consolidation pattern and this downtrend, and just recently it's looking to possibly try to spark higher as it spent the last a couple of days just sticking around the 800 mark. It has now been sold for over 900 as of the recording of this video. And like normal, I'd be looking, like, I don't got the 18 average and stuff like that, but I'm going to be looking for a move that can establish some sort of mark in here and then show to me that it's able to hold that area and bring some further momentum to indicate that, okay, it's time to have a big move to the upside. And I've talked about this chart before, as I was stating in here, that it's, if you really just want to find something cheap, then maybe this looks like it's got a good high reward probability. And sure enough, and well, the first sell target at 750, yeah, that didn't do so well now, did it? No. And then I stated if it doesn't become resistance, watch out for a fast move to 1,500. Well, here's 1,500. Okay, that worked. And that was a key resistance point. And it's had the decent correctionary point. So now you're back to the point where it's just cheaper to go through. So you buy here, you sell here, you sell here, and then you buy again in here. Maybe you sell a bit at this stage, and then again at new highs. And yeah, we'll figure those ones out as well. And when I calculated the previous ones, I came up with 1,500, and it pierced above it. And oftentimes, as I state, they do that. So remember that within this. But it went up to 1,700, and the move lower, well, support has been roughly at around, we'll say about 725 as a good key number. That gives up target of 2879. And since it's been doing a lot of up piercing, I would consider that any good momentum break north of previous high 1700 would have an up target of the 3,000 or so Satoshi number, or at least I'd be looking to put some sell orders in, maybe a little south of that number. That would be one way I'm looking at it, but I'm a big fan of point A to point B, or point high to point low. So point low to point high to point low to point high. So it's either going to be this low, and if there is another retracement and it goes up, then maybe it's this low. But obviously in a bull market, the point highs get bigger each time, and the point lows get higher each time, with the pattern, of course, of higher highs and higher lows. Oftentimes markets can go back to where they came from. So it's already came back once to where it was. And that was at 750. And technically even 500 is pretty much the same range. So it's already done one of those things I'll be looking for what a good correction would have. So thank you for tuning in to today's crypto technical analysis video, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.